just going to demonstrate just a couple of quick techniques of ergonomics for reflexology therapists. Bolster under the knees, okay? The feet should be roughly chest height. It's not, I'm too high, so I'm just going to lower myself a bit, or what you can do is get a rolled up towel or another cushion and pop the client's foot like so, okay? That is an ideal position, if my seat was high, for the feet to be in. So pop a cushion underneath if you prefer. So when you're doing some techniques, you've got to move around in your chair. You have to be moving different areas, okay? So let's just suppose I'm working the spine right now. I'm coming up the spine and then I'm going to come back down the spine. So I'm here. My body is over here. So that I've got a nice position. Your holding techniques are very important so that you don't hurt your thumbs. So all I'm going to do is walk up the spine. I'm going to turn my hand. Now yes, I'm resting on the client's leg, it would normally be covered. And walk up the spine. My shoulders aren't hunched up like this. I'm nice and relaxed. So I'm walking up the spine. Now I'm going to come back down the spine. So to come back down the spine, you'll see I've shuffled myself across to the other side of the bed. Shoulders are down. And I'm going to walk back down the spine. This is my holding hand. It's giving me the pressure to control the foot. And look, I'm moving my body as I'm coming down the spine. Shoulders down. Perhaps do a spinal twist. So I'm not sitting here in front of the client and trying to execute moves in a weird position. I'm moving all the time. Let's suppose I'm working the hip and pelvic area. So I'm working the hip and pelvic area. Okay, I've come to this side of the foot. Now, if I'm operating with the knuckle of my thumb, look at this position of my wrist. Right, it's not comfortable. So what you do is you keep your wrist low on the bed and you work the area. That way you're not hurting your wrist, you're not hurting your thumb. See, my wrist, I'm not doing this, lifting my shoulder up. I'm just nice and relaxed on the bed. Client's feet aren't relaxed like. And I'm using a knuckle on the hip and pelvis. Again, I've moved to the side, I'm all over here. I've got my wrist on the bed in a position that's comfortable for my wrist. See? I'm also giving a slight lift to the foot. I've got a full grip, full control. See where my wrist is? I'm not bending it. And look, I've just moved because I want to work medial to lateral. So I've just moved around the bed to the other side. Wrists nice and low, shoulders are down. So I'm working the toes now. I'm going to work medial to lateral, okay? I've got nice good grip on the toes. Thumbs walking up. I've just made myself more comfortable in my chair. Yes, my legs are wide apart, but that makes me comfortable and my shoulders are down. I'm not sitting like legs together and huddled over the toes and scrunched up in my shoulders. I've moved back a touch and I'm nice and relaxed. Working up the toes. Maybe I'll do a 2-thumb slide. Now, to get to that little toe, I'm in a slightly wrong position to do it. So all I'm going to do is move my body slightly forward to the other side and then work. See, look, moving in my chair. I'm now working lateral to medial, so I'm moving around in my chair. Let's suppose I'm doing the sciatic. Yeah, I've come right the way to the side. Shoulders are down. I'm just going to walk down the outside of the ankle. I'm not going to sit here and go like this to work around. I'm going to come right to the side of the chair, side of the table, and work down. I'm going to do a 3-finger slide down the sciatic. I'm not going to stay here because that's uncomfortable. So what I'm going to do now is I've moved back around. The holding hand is just as important as the working hand, so that you've got everything in the right position and you're not burning yourself out. Let's suppose I want to do some extra techniques on the hip and pelvic area. So I'm going to do a walk with my thumb on angles, okay? So just thinking of where my body is, okay? So I've moved across, I'm working up. I'm maybe going to work horizontal. Now I want my thumb to go in that direction. So I'm not going to sit here like this with my elbow up in the air. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come around the other side and work my thumb like so. Okay. Ta-da! If you need any tips on a particular technique where you're struggling, where your thumbs are hurting or you're really uncomfortable, shoot me an email. My information's in the bottom of the video and in the link down there. Shoot me an email and I'll create a video of how to get your body in the correct position for a particular technique that you're interested in or you're struggling to manipulate. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe.